School is now starting back up all across our area, what state police are warning people about, plus the Sisters of St. Benedict have added 2 new members, and Purdue Extension educator Jan Dugan is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a Lagodi man who was arrested following a display of dangerous driving. At 4 o'clock yesterday morning, Jasper police received a call about a man who was driving aggressively and erratically on Jasper's north side. Police then followed the man, 75-year-old Tennis Tinkle, as he headed south into town. Police pulled Tinkle over at 28th and Newton Streets after they saw him use the turn lane to pass another vehicle. Tinkle was taken to Memorial Hospital for a psychological evaluation. He is set to be lodged in the Du Bois County Security Center once that evaluation is done. Tinkle is currently facing an aggressive driving charge. He will also be cited for following too closely, unsafe lane movement, improper use of a horn, and speeding. A Jasper man was arrested yesterday after yet another attempt at stealing from the North Side Walmart. Just before 4 p.m., Jasper police were called to the Walmart on a report from store personnel of the theft. Police say 22-year-old Scotty Nicholson took 2 pairs of sunglasses from the store without paying for them. Those sunglasses had a total combined value of just over $32, according to police. Nicholson was lodged in the Du Bois County Security Center. He is facing a Class A misdemeanor for theft. A Northeast Du Bois County couple who were accused of animal neglect last winter after their 2 dogs were found outside in sub-zero temperatures reached a plea agreement Monday in Du Bois Circuit Court. 50-year-old George Kimmel and 55-year-old Dorothy Kimmel of rural Crystal pleaded guilty to misdemeanor animal neglect. Now, an anonymous report of animals being neglected on property owned by the Kimmels was called in to the Du Bois County Sheriff's Department back in January, when temperatures at the time were 5 degrees below zero, and the wind chill was estimated at between 15 and 20 degrees below zero. Police found 1 dog tied up outside when they arrived. Its chain was wrapped around a pole, keeping it from reaching its doghouse or its water, which authorities say was frozen. A second dog was frozen to the ground by its feet, belly, and tail. It was freed by a sheriff's deputy through warm water, which melted the ice that held it down. The Kimmels were each sentenced to a year in jail, but that was suspended to 2 years of probation in each case. Each will have to complete 80 hours of community service, refrain from using drugs or alcohol, pay restitution to the Du Bois County Humane Society, and forfeit all rights to the 2 dogs involved in this case. Additionally, the Kimmels will not be allowed to get new animals as part of their probation. As students in Du Bois and surrounding counties head back to school, Indiana State Police are again warning folks to slow down and watch out for students getting on and off of school buses. Troopers say drivers are required by state law to stop for a school bus when the red lights are flashing and the flashing stop arm is extended out. It's also illegal to pass a school bus in these cases. Now, the only exception to the law comes on divided highways. On roads where a concrete barrier or grassy median divides the lanes, motorists are not required to stop for the bus if they are approaching it from the opposite direction. However, on multiple lane highways where there is no concrete barrier or grassy median that divides the lanes, drivers are required to stop in all directions when the bus stops to load or unload children. Sergeant Philip Hensley is with the Indiana State Police Jasper Post. He says drivers going around to stop school buses is an ongoing concern.
I honestly think it is a problem, and it's a matter of time with people not paying attention, and obviously with the way distractions are while driving now, it's going to continue to the point where a child does get hurt, and a child gets hurt locally. Obviously, around the school hours, people have got to start paying attention. Knowing these school buses are out here, there's no excuse.
Hensley says troopers will be watching closely for those who commit stop arm violations. He says police will not tolerate those who do.
We want to target it right away. We don't want to let it grow into a problem that may just continue or, oh, hey, it happens every once in a while. No, that's unacceptable. We're going to be out there. We're going to be looking for it. And our enforcement of it is not light-handed. If we catch you doing it, you will get a ticket. Because there's absolutely no excuse for it.
Locally, Northeast DuBois students began their 2014-2015 school year today. Students in the Greater Jasper, Southeast, and Southwest DuBois school districts all start back to school tomorrow morning. Students who attend Pike County schools will be headed back to school on Friday. North Spencer students are among the last in the area to go back to school. They start their new school year next Wednesday, August 13th. The Sisters of St. Benedict of Ferdinand have added 2 new members. Sisters Jane Ann Breen and Rachel Garasitano recently made their first professions of monastic vows. The professions of these vows marked their official entry into the Sisters of St. Benedict community. Sister Jane Ann hails from Indianapolis. She is actually re-entering the Sisters of St. Benedict community after a teaching career. She taught at the Academy of Immaculate Conception for 20 years and was also the Academy's principal for 4 of those years. She was also a principal and teacher at Shaw Memorial Junior and Senior High School in Madison and taught at the Madison Women's Correctional Institute through Oakland City University. She now teaches online classes for Ivy Tech. Sister Jane Ann rejoined the monastery in January. Meanwhile, Sister Rachel is a Louisville, Kentucky native. She majored in theology and minored in psychology at Bellarmine University. Sister Rachel has also served in several capacities locally, including at the monastery's Hildegard Health Center and the Guadalupe Center in Huntingburg, among others. Additionally, Sister Rachel has been taking classes at both the St. Meinrad School of Theology and at the Monastery of Immaculate Conception's Formation Department. She will begin work towards a master's degree in pastoral theory this fall. Founded in 1867, the Sisters of St. Benedict of Ferdinand currently has 156 members. They serve in areas of education, parish work, healthcare, and social services, among other areas. Their work takes them to Indiana, Kentucky, and even as far away as Peru. A recently launched bicycle race will return for a second year at the Ferdinand Folk Festival, though there will be some changes. The second annual Folk Fest Fondo will be held on September 20th and 21st in conjunction with the Ferdinand Folk Fest. The event is once again being put on by DC Multisport. Now, the event launched last year as a way to entertain bicyclists of all skill levels from across the area and beyond. The event had 3 routes spanning multiple counties. DC Multisport says about 70 cyclists took part in last year's event. Some of those came from as far away as Lafayette, Indiana. Others came from Bedford, Indianapolis, and even Louisville, Kentucky. The Saturday leg of this year's Fondo will again feature multiple routes designed for folks of differing skill levels. One of this year's main features will include an SAG stop at Huntingburg's League Stadium and a trip through Huntingburg's historic business district. The long route of the Fondo also goes through Jasper to St. Anthony to the hills near Ferdinand State Forest. This year marks the addition of the kids route to the Fondo. That route begins at 10 o'clock on Saturday, September 20th. Kids will go through Ferdinand and volunteers will be along the route to direct traffic and help out riders as needed. Children under the age of 10 will have to have an adult with them for this ride. Meanwhile, the Sunday leg of the Fondo will have just one route. That route will go past the St. Meinrad Arch Abbey and over some hills to the northern Perry County community of Bristow. The route will also pass the Huffman Mill covered bridge before going through Santa Claus and back to Ferdinand over lightly traveled roadways. Now, proceeds will once again be given to the Sisters of St. Benedict of Ferdinand. They will be working with the Louisville-based Family Scholar House to bring a service to the county aimed at fighting poverty through education. Last year, the Fondo raised more than $5,000 for the Family Scholar House program. Finally this evening, the DuBois County Emerging Leaders will be meeting at the YMCA in Ferdinand tomorrow beginning at 6 p.m. The evening will include networking, a tour of the YMCA, and will feature Master Brand President Dave Randich sharing his thoughts on philanthropy. Light refreshments will be served tomorrow evening. Young adults who want to engage in philanthropy are invited to attend. Now, Emerging Leaders was originally established back in 2012. The group is a way for young adults to pool their funds to strengthen communities in DuBois County. Each member commits to giving as little as $120 per individual or $180 as a couple each year. Members will then share a vote for where the group's grant money will be directed at the end of the year. You can learn more by calling the DuBois County Community Foundation at 482-5295 or by going online to elgiving.org. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform with Jan Dugan. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.